What's up, y'all? This is Carla, aka Seela the Poet. Happy Saturday to everybody. I hope that everybody is having a good weekend. So I had an interesting conversation with one of my homies, and we talked about a lot of different things, but he thought it would be a good idea if I did a video to address the ladies. So I rarely ever talk about relationships because I'm a person who I struggle with something called complex PTSD. So that means that I have trouble with relationships and relating. But the thing is I am getting treatment for that, and as I get treatment and I go to therapy, I'm learning more about relationships. I'm reading self help books. I'm getting all types of advice from different people when it comes to relationships. So, one thing I want to say to the ladies is that in our society is very sexualized, and everything seems to revolve around sexual attraction, from the movies to commercials to videos to advertising. They kind of have this idea that sex sells. And so society and the culture kind of teach us different things. We are affected by the culture that teaches us the type of men that we should be attracted to as women and the type of women that men should be attracted to. So in media, the people that end up being celebrities and famous usually have a certain personality type. And, not only are they making maybe thousands of dollars or maybe even be millionaires, but they tend to date a certain type of woman, and they tend to have a certain type of personality. Some, celebrities are absolutely ratchet. They just have a whole bunch of baby mamas, and or they date a whole bunch of women. They can't really keep one relationship too long. But my main thing I want to talk about today is, as women, we are socialized to want the bad boy. We are socialized to want the guy, and especially in the Black community. I don't know about other communities, but in our community, we are socialized to want the guy that every other girl wants. We are socialized to want the guy that's popular, the guy that is good looking, physically attractive, sometimes a pretty boy. We want the guy with swag. We want the guy who's a baller. We want the guy who is maybe the toughest and the roughest. And what you don't understand is that what comes along with being attracted to those types of men are there are pros and there are cons to it. Me and my friend got really, really deep, and I just want to give a shout out to this friend. He knows who he is. Thank you, for opening my eyes to certain things. But we need, as women, to when we tend to put good guys or average guys in the friend zone. Now the thing is that the friend zone is a place where we keep these guys because we don't date them. They're good friends, but we're just not attracted to them. They don't have the same thing that the pretty boys and the popular guys and the swag have. The guys with swag, they may not have those same traits and those same personality types, but I think that we as ladies, we end up missing out on some good dudes. When I was growing up, I was a tomboy. I was the girl that would be hanging out with a whole bunch of guys. And, there were some guy friends who ended up liking me, but I ended up never ever taking it there and putting them into the friend zone. That had to do with fears, but also the way that I was socialized. Because I'm socialized that, we supposed to go after the guy that everybody else wants, the guy with swag, the guy that's popular, and, the guy that is kind of like, that is pursuant of the ladies. That's the way that we were kind of socialized. And What I think is, as ladies, we need to start giving the guys that we put in the friend zone, we need to actually start giving them a chance. I know this is not going to be a popular message, but the thing is that, I believe that I may have hurt a lot of my guy friends throughout the years. And a lot of it had to do with the incorrect way I was socialized, as well as a lot of my own fears about ruining a friendship. When you put a guy in the friend zone, the guy is really, really good, and you don't want to complicate the relationship, the friendship. You don't want to complicate it by becoming his lover, or you don't want to destroy that friendship that you have with that person, because that there's always a possibility of a breakup. If it doesn't work out, you end up not only losing the boyfriend, but you also lose that friendship, and you also lose your best friend. Now, but we as women, we need to start giving a better quality of guys a chance. The type of things that we've been socialized to be attracted to, some of those things end up being toxic. Some of those things end up being not healthy. And as my friend told me, when we had the conversation, anytime you go into a relationship, a romantic relationship, there's always going to be a risk. There's always going to be a place where you'll have to be vulnerable, and there's always going to be a risk. It's always risky when you open yourself up to love, or you open yourself up to a relationship. But do the benefits outweigh the bad consequences? When you date the guys that are popular and that are, all the girls want, and have the personality types of being kind of narcissistic, of being swag, of having the swag and the popularity, sometimes those guys end up cheating on you. Sometimes those guys end up abusing you. Sometimes those guys end up taking you for granted. And the guys that we put in the friend zone, if we were to give them a chance, they may actually end up being exactly what we need and exactly what we always wanted. But we don't even give them a chance. We just put them in the friend zone and leave them there, because that's what a lot of us have been socialized to do. So the thing is, I've come to the realization after years of getting it wrong, and having some kind of relationships that were kind of messed up, and just a lot of different experiences, I found out that we got to ask ourselves, why would we date someone who we would not be friends with? Why would we sleep with someone, have sex with someone, or date someone that we would never in life be like, have or a stable or committed friendship to? That's something that we have to ask ourselves, ladies. Why would we, go out there and just date and give ourselves to somebody that we would never have a decent friendship with? It doesn't make sense. Friendship is supposed to be the foundation to which you build, a relationship. Anytime you're gonna build a house, you gotta have a foundation. So it's the same thing with a relationship. You have to have something to build on with that person. And we're not socialized that way. We're socialized to go after sexual attraction, lust, and swag, and those things, when you look at the consequences of that, or you look at that long term, it doesn't yield many rewards, but friendships yield so many rewards. So, we need to start rethinking this friend zone thing, ladies. We should kind of start dating some of these guys that we put in the friend zone, because they may end up being the love of our lives, or they may end up being just what we need. We should not sell ourselves short. We should not just be dating some dude that we would never be friends with, that we would never have a stable friendship with. That's not logical, and that doesn't make any sense. We shouldn't be thinking with down here, just like we always talk about. Many women talk about how men are dogs and men are led by their penises. Well, we as women should not be led by down there. We shouldn't be led by our sexual urges either. When you're trying to choose somebody to date and stuff like that, it would be it's we need to start opening ourselves up to more possibilities. And we need to start dating guys that we would put in the friend zone. I'm pretty sure, like I said, I may have missed out on some really good guys, but the way I was socialized, the way I grew up, the influences that I grew up seeing, I'm watching Tupac, I'm watching Biggie, you end up wanting those type of guys. You do. What you're surrounded by, who comes up to you and who you attract, all of that has an effect. So guys, start dating girls that you would put in the friend zone. Ladies, start giving a chance to some guys that you would just keep in the friend zone. Because we deserve to have opportunities to be with someone great. And we need to start making healthier choices in who we allow in our lives. And friendship is really one of the best foundations, because friendship, most friendships last a pretty long time if it's a healthy and a good friendship. So that's all I have to say for now. There'll be more content soon, okay? And this is Sila the Poet. Peace, guys.